Chairperson, allow me to open my computer so I give you exact numbers.
I'll really appreciate. Chairperson, whilst he's still checking, what was the process followed to appointing this independent chairperson?
Chair, it's the SCM process in the organization.
Do you know the qualifications of this person that you appointed?
I know for the CEO of the,
No, I'm talking about the COO.
yeah, I will request again assistance from the corporate services
No, no, it's okay.
executive or Mr. Molapo next to him.
Okay. Mr. Malapo, just get that information. Do you know what was the verdict of this chairperson on the COO?
Yes, I do.
What was it?
The verdict was not guilty on all charges,
Not guilty on?
on all the charges,
On all the charges.
yes.
And then what happened?
And then, given the fact that as an entity, we believed strongly in our case, we consulted senior counsel to relook our case and advise what steps we can take. We then we advised to take advantage of a clause in our disciplinary policy, which allows the HRRC chair or the CEO to override a chairperson's findings in the event, as turned out in our view, that it didn't make sense.
Okay, so let me rephrase what you've just said. So you went and got the services of a senior counsel to do what? To advise you on what?
On whether we can just sit back and accept such a verdict when we believe otherwise, or we have other alternatives.
And then the university paid for the senior counsel.
The SETA,
Yeah, the SETA. So
yes.
the SETA paid for the senior counsel.
Yes.
What process did you follow to acquire the service of the senior counsel?
Again, we followed the SCM process. And the reason we felt strongly about consulting.
No, we'll get
Oh,
to that
okay.
part. Just answer the question. So, how long did the SCM process take to appoint this senior counsel?
Because it was urgent, it was done within the process for such an urgent request, which is less than 2 weeks.
Yeah, 7 days.
7 days.
So you appointed the senior counsel within 7 days.
Yes.
Okay. And then how long did the senior counsel take to give you your legal opinion?
Please assist.
Chair, it was approximately 2 weeks.
Approximately 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So you'll check there.
I can check exactly. The senior counsel needed to familiarize himself with the entire bundle of evidence, which was a few volumes, Chair, before advising the board on an appropriate course of action. And when that was ready, he prepared a memorandum, and we subsequently convened a meeting of the accounting authority in which he outlined his proposed strategy.
Okay, it was, just to be exact, it was 50 pages. The report of your chair that you had appointed. That's 50 pages. So you received the report on the 9th of April, 2024. And I'm assuming after receiving it, you took a day or two, if you are in a hurry, to convene a board meeting. A board meeting that would have then decided that we are going to challenge this decision, right? And we're going to take 7 days to advertise, to get a legal counsel. And seven days passes, your process must have been very, very fast. So unless on the day your bid closed, you are appointed on that day, and we're being, are using those examples intentionally. But obviously would want you to send them, would want you to send those things to us. And then within 2 weeks, which if the numbers are communicating, it will be around the 9th of May. So already around the 9th of May, your legal counsel should come back. But that's not what happened. Because on the 7th of May, less than a month before, less than a month, it means you would have done these things. One, you would have convened a board meeting. You would have taken a decision in your board meeting to challenge your own decision, the decision of your own independent chairperson, right? By seeking a further opinion. And by the way, let me tell you who was your chair. Hey, what's wrong now? Or the credentials of your chair. I don't know what's happening. You know, the other week when we were dealing with when we were interview, when we were having a meeting with the University of Limpopo, I just got swollen on the face. Today I think I can't speak now. So this independent chair of that you had appointed, Rajesh, you will confirm, is a professor of law, is an advocate of the High Court of the Republic of South Africa, an advocate who acts as a judge sometimes in the High Court and the Labour Court, an advocate who has presided over a number of labor matters in organizations and in court. So this is the person that you had appointed, and you know it's your own process. CEO, don't act shocked. Again, I'm telling you. I told you, Mina, I'm a child of a teacher. So when I ask you a question, I already know the answer. So I'm just telling you, this is the person that you had appointed, right? For your own, and this one, it was not, I can tell you, you had appointed them, I think, in 2020. You took time, I think, between 3 and 6 months to appoint. So you applied your mind. You applied your mind. The assumption will be, we applied your mind, you have taken this person with these credentials, you've paid them, I don't know how much you've paid them. They took time, they gave you a 50-page documents, 50-page documents that your new process because you don't like this verdict. The chair says, we did not believe that verdict is right. So you don't like it. And I'm interested to know who then advised you in that board of yours, who's the legal mind, who at least, would have said, no, let's get if we're objective, you would have said, this person erred on point A, B, C. They did not apply the rules of natural justice on this point and on this point. Or they did not consider the witness. So when you decide as the council, as the board, that I'm going to contest this thing legally, there's public funds involved. So you must, so that's why we're going to ask you. One, from when you received these things on the 9th of April, 2024, when you've received this, chairperson, would want you to give us the minutes or the memo to convene. Where's the company secretary? There. Yeah, you should have them. I'll send them to, I'm sure you have them on your laptop. Please forward them to Anna. The memo to convene this council board meeting, the minutes of those board meetings, or the agenda of those board meetings, the minutes of the board meetings, and then the advert, the agent advert that you took out to get the services of a senior counsel. Send us the legal opinion of this legal counsel. Send us the minutes or the memo to convene the meeting of the board to consider the legal document, the legal advice, the minutes, the agenda and the minutes of the board that would have resolved that because of the legal, to consider the legal counsel, that would have ultimately led to what the chairperson was saying, that in your program, in your SETA thing, it says that the chairperson of, is it HR, what is that? HR, is it HR what? Yeah, that one. That you can then exercise the right to exercise that part, HRRC. So what was the, I know we're going to get it, chairperson, but what was the firm, the senior counsel, the senior counsel that you utilized?
It's Advocate O.
Yeah. Oh.
It's Advocate O.
Advocate O. And then what was the legal advice saying?
Can I please defer to my colleagues? Fortunately, they are sitting close to each other. If they can just share all those details, and maybe with your indulgence, his credentials also.
So Rajesh, you sit in the council.
In the HRRC, Chair? I'm a member of staff. I am a corporate services executive.
No, so council chair, the decision to contest was a decision of council, of the board, sorry.
Mr. Molapo is a member of the AA and an HRC member. I would like him to assist, please.
Oh, you don't, yeah, but you see, you must put on the mic, yeah.
Oh, sorry. Mr. Molapo, sitting close to Rajesh, is a member of the AA and the HRC. He is he's closer to the issues, and I would request that he assess.
No, as the chair, you don't remember how your AA that you chaired would have received What would have been the legal opinion?
Yes, I just want to state that the COO matter does not rest with the AA. It is at the CEO, and where you have this clause being triggered, then the HRC. The AA gets notified, but the prerogative to deal with matters at COO level rests with the CEO, and like I said, then the HRC.
Okay, so who then acquired the services of a senior counsel? Who literally, you are challenging the decision, seeking second opinion, right? Who did that?
Okay. We have a structure that we interposed of the HRC and myself to advise the HRC chair, because the decision had to rest with her. So if you read that clause, it basically states at a high level that should the outcome, should the entity or I don't know, Tapelo, you are good with the quoting the clauses, but essentially, if you are not happy with the verdict,
Who must not be happy?
It would be I don't know who we will
let's
say.
leave it. Let's leave
As I said, it's
No,
at
let's give- no,
it's
let's
at
give
the
that judgment. No, you see, Chairperson, you're not answering me, because what you are trying, I don't know what you are trying to tell me. So you are saying you put together a process, and somebody can query it, but you don't know who has the authority to question or to query that thing.
it's the HRC chair.
Yeah, so let's take it. That's the Human Resource and Remuneration Committee chair.
Yes.
So if they don't like me, that's what you are saying. So
Yes.
your board has said, let's give this absolute power to Honorable Law. That if we put together a process and we call it independent, and the independent process comes and says McCade is innocent or found not guilty on all charges, Honorable Law on his own can change it. And how does he change it? He then appoints a senior counsel, get a legal opinion. But maybe your clause, you'll clarify.
Yes.
You'll clarify if your clause says
Yes.
there must be even if it's, I don't know whether I read it correctly, and I don't remember it saying there must be a legal opinion. You'll tell us.
It doesn't say so.
Yeah, so it means the HRC chair
Yes.
can then undermine or overturn a process that would have paid millions to.
Yes.
Our DDG, we're going to have a problem with you guys. What I can tell you now, DDG, we're going to have a problem. We're going to have a, because here we've created, you see, this is the second thing that we're finding that is, generally it breeds of wrong things. The first one is you can pay somebody because you have just given them a contract and they can just run away. And I can tell you would have lost money there. The second one is this thing, that you can put together a process, pay people who are acting judges of the High Court. I don't know how much we've paid here. And it explains, Honorable Khakha, why we moved from 2 million to 15 million in 1 year on legal fees. This one. It simply explained that part. Because we're not using our own money here. And if a person, DDG, we've said this thing with universities. because you believe your process was fair, should you lose this one, you must pay it from your own money. Or you must just agree. Because it can't be that people just, you know, I don't know how much we've paid this chairperson, independent chairperson. I don't know how much we've paid them. In order for us, it's as if you guys had predetermined a conclusion on what you want to get here. So you have agreed or no, this one, come hell or high water, they're gone. Right? But you decide to use state resources to go pay somebody, put together a process, and you are not losing anything. It comes back, says, this person that you are pursuing, you have pursued them wrong. And then you come back. And what is the credential of the HRRC chair?
Chair, I do beg your indulgence to allow Mr. Molapo to...
Yes, Mr. Molapo, let's hear.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. I think we should apologize for frustrating you, because I don't think we're assisting you to get to the gist of what happened with this matter. I think what happened with the...
What is the credentials of the HRRC chair?
She is an HR and training manager for an organization called MERSETA.
Then in terms of legal background, what is a legal background?
I don't have that specific info.
So, but she works in HR.
Yeah.
So she's an HR sort of expert, not a legal expert.
Yeah, she's not a legal expert.
And then you guys in the board found it correct that you'll take a decision that a person with no legal background can overturn a decision of somebody that you would have paid money over without a legal background. And you guys in the board found nothing wrong with that thing.
I don't think that's the way it is, Chair.
Explain it to me.
Yeah, if I may. So our disciplinary policy provides that when you have got an external chairperson, and you are of the view as a SETA that the findings of that external chairperson is flawed.
No, who's the SETA?
The SETA is ourselves.
Yeah, don't say as a SETA. So you'll sit as a SETA.
Yes.
Management will sit. So like in this case, management said, and you decided you're going to change it.
No, that's why I think it is important for us to not to give you the impression that we just said we just allowed the HRRC chairperson to wantonly go alone and make these decisions. There are processes.
What does the policy say?
The policy says that if the SETA is not happy with the outcome...
But who's the SETA? You can't say the SETA, because in my understanding it would have been the AA.
Yeah, it's the AA. It's okay. We can say it's the AA.
No, what does the policy say? Because the AA says they were not part. They just received a report.
No,
this is the process that would have done.
No, we were part, Chair. We were part. So the outcome... No.
How are you a part? You saw how she turned.
No,
she's
Chair.
also shocked.
I didn't tend for that.
Okay.
So Chair, just to go to be more specific, Chair. So when the outcome of the disciplinary process were concluded.
No, I want to know, what does the policy say?
The policy says that the SETA can, if the AA is not happy with the outcome of the disciplinary hearing, Chair, can designate the HRRC chairperson to review that outcome and either to accept it or set it aside. So that's what the policy says.
Yeah, but in this case, the chair just said the AA was not, it's not the AA that took this decision. It's the HRRC that took a decision.
Correct.
And it was not as a instruction from them.
It wasn't an instruction from the AA.
From the AA. That's
No,
what
it
she
wasn't. Yes, you're right. It wasn't.
So what are you saying there in this instance?
So the decision was taken by the HRRC.
Yeah, but that's against your own police.
No, it is not, Chair.
No, you have just said, so you don't know your police.
No. I
You
don't.
have just said to me now that the SETA, being the AA, can review the decision or send the decision for a review to the HRRC. You have never said the HRRC can review and then send you the decision.
No, Chair. I said the HRRC can delegate the chairperson to review the decision and either accept it or set it aside.
No, so it's no longer the AA, it's the HRRC.
No, I've never said the AA. It's the HRRC. It is the HRRC that has that mandate.
So HRRC is a committee
Yes, Chairperson.
of cancer.
Yes, Chair.
So the committee of cancer, your council, your board, sorry.
The AA, yeah.
Yeah, your board has taken a decision to give a committee of cancer the powers to review without consulting with them. Such a big decision.
That power, Chair, is given by the policy, not by the AA. It's given by the disciplinary policy,
Yeah, but who approved the policy?
the AA.
Exactly. So
Okay.
what are you talking
Yeah.
about?
Now, if that's what you mean,
No. The AA has given through a police. That's what
Okay.
policy can be done by anybody.
Accepted, Chair. Yeah.
So the AA has given its powers. The board of merSETA has given its powers to a committee, a subcommittee. You know, a committee is a subcommittee of the board.
Yes, Chair. Yeah.
So you have given the power of the board to the subcommittee of the board
Yes, Chair.
to run the affairs without consulting the board. That's what you are saying to me.
Yes, Chair. That is what.
Then that then value again. We have a problem with this board. I can tell you, we have a serious problem with this board. How does a board, barracking hotspot its powers to a subcommittee? You know, it's like this committee here taking a decision on behalf of the full sitting of Parliament. We can't. The Parliament would have given us our small power there. You deal with the department and all entities there. You report back to Parliament. Even all our reports, that's how we take them anywhere. It's only probably yourselves where a committee would have been given. I heard that case is in CCMA. I wish you all the best, because I can tell you on procedure, you see, there is no where your institutional constitution, they've got their own power as long as they don't contradict the ones of the country. When you go to court, they'll use the constitution of the country on fairness, on procedures. If you lose it, then I'm telling you, you're going to lose this one. I can tell you. You are going to lose. I don't know how much you would have spent here, Chairperson. Kurumona, you know, if you don't want somebody, Honorable Zondo, if you don't want somebody, you follow process, the right process. You don't circumvent process, because you are going to lose. I'm going to note you. There's no need raising your hand 3 times. You are going to lose, and you are using state resources. We're also going to be forced here, DDG, to have a conversation with the department and the ministry about our state resources that are used like this. We're dealing with the annual report of 23-24. Would like you to give us how much have you spent already under 2024 on legal fees. I can tell you that 15 million that we are complaining about, it probably looks like peanuts, because we've got here. You can tell we've got a problem. We've got a serious problem. Make Kate, let's hear.
Thank you, Chair. In the meantime, we found the clause in the disciplinary committee, and it states that, and it's clause 16.3, and it states that the CEO or the HRC chair, should the CEO be involved in the disciplinary matter, shall have the power to confirm or set aside any decision, determination, or finding, and to confirm or set aside or reduce any sanction imposed by the chairperson of the disciplinary hearing. And I hear you, Honorable Chair, but I do wish to state also in the strongest terms that the way HR works, the outcome of a disciplinary hearing is not final. It is subject to consideration by the relevant authority. The COO reports to the CEO. And this decision, if we didn't have this acting and whatever, would have been a decision of the CEO. And I must say, I really do not agree with you on this one. As an entity, we have a responsibility to consider outcomes of disciplinary committees and be convinced that they are correct. I think there is a lot that has, is related to the questions that you've asked. And in a session like this one, it's difficult to debrief properly with you. But this is not a matter that we considered, nonchalantly. In fact, one of the accountability forums we had in mind, and the staff will tell you, we tell them all the time, that we look after this public purse on behalf of the public. We can go to Parliament any day and they can ask us, so you charge this person, you actually have financial statements that bear you out that this was fruitless and wasteful expenditure. This was irregular, and you sit back. When, and I am not an HR specialist, but I am very sure that if you go to your HR manual, it will allow you, it will empower you as the appointing authority to make that final decision. It cannot be just you take anything that the chairperson says. Given also that this is still an ongoing matter, I would like, I really relish the idea of debating this issue with the committee, but would plead that it be contained as much as possible, because we do not want to be compromised by sharing information in an ongoing case.
Okay, so you disagree with my view. You believe that you are correct, you are going to win. So should you lose, are you willing to pay the lawyers that you have hired out of your own pocket on this one?
No. If you want me to do so, go through a process that will make me so. The conditions under which I took the decision do not expose me to such. But if you do want to undertake a process that makes me pay, by all means. The process that says, look at whether the decisions of this body were defendable, are understandable, and there's an outcome that says they were crazy. In that case, I would consider it. But I cannot just say if I lose, then I will pay. That's not how it works.
No. I was asking you because you seem confident that what you are doing is you are going to win. You are well within your rights. You have followed all the HR manual as you've said. You believe that you are going to win. That's why I was asking. Are you then saying to us, as a sign of confidence in what you are doing, that at the end of the case, you are going to win, but if you don't, that's how you are, when you put your head on the block,
If I lose,
you are going to pay from yourself.
If I lose on the basis of negligence, of having followed an airy-fairy argument and etc., then let's talk. But if I lose a case, no one can guarantee the outcome of a case, no one.
Okay, Honorable Low.
No, thanks. Maybe I did not hear properly, or maybe. Is the chair saying a DC can take a decision and someone overturns it?
Yeah, 1%.
1%?
Yeah.
No, it's not legally allowed.
No, they are going to lose that.
No, it's not legally allowed.
No,
There's a process. I'm an HR practitioner. When there's a case, let me try and explain procedural substantive now. When there's a case, we give an opportunity to present your case, and we give an opportunity. We present our charges. You present your case. The DC takes place. We confirm everything. We sit down. We deliberate. Immediately, when we have dealt with you, either guilty or not guilty, the only body you can appeal to is the next structure after the DC or the TC. Then not the individual, because an individual is not a court of law. 1. 2, an individual is not a tribunal that deals with DC or an expert on the law. It's like the board saying to us, we brought a forensic investigation into the board. Now we have overturned the decision because our legal counsel says that you can only do that when you go to court, when you want to overturn a decision of a particular structure. The moment as a board or an institution, you give a committee powers to deal with the matter, it remains the same up until the person appeals in the another structure or in the board, but not one individual. It's not within the legal framework of South Africa or the Constitution. Whether it's a policy, it's wrong. We can challenge it. We're going to win it here today. It's wrong as a policy. There should be bodies of appeals. That's why when you said DC, there are certain time frames that you put in place. 30 days is for your trial. 60 days is for appeals in this particular section body, and then the third body will be external or outsiders that you are going to put your case to. So I disagree totally on the procedure, and it's flawed because it is not within the legal framework when you confirm the constitutional framework of South Africa.
No, Honorable Law, I'm confident they're going to lose because the Labor Relations Act 66 of 1995, Section 1581H, that speaks about the review process. It's very clear on who can review what. It's like what you are saying. This one I can tell they're going to lose. That's why I wanted them to put. My worry, that DDG, is that it will be public funds that they'll be using. It's not their own money. If I'm confident that I'm going to win, if I'm confident, let me put my head on the block. Let me use my own money. So they're not using it because they don't feel the pain. They probably don't even care that that money that they'll be using there for legal cases, they could have improved their ICT system so that you know, the arrangement between the operations and finance speak better together. They could have fixed the ICT because it's an operation budget. Fix that their system to make sure that we don't fund deceased learners. We don't double or fund people who are double dipping, as the AG would have said earlier. They don't care. You know, that is why I was saying earlier on in the year, I was even saying to the minister, in fact, you should have even said when you advertised for these chairpersons and board members, you should have said it must be, you know, these board members must be forced unannounced to take a lifestyle audit, because these board members, they're just living beyond. They don't care about the core business of what the SETA seeks to achieve. We have board members who just think they're just going to do as they please, as we see here. How does you know, how does a full board, take an illegal decision to set aside or review any decision, give it to a subcommittee of the board, for that one person, chairperson of that board, or the CEO, to review something that is clear on the Constitution? The Labour Code is there, chairperson of council, it's there. The Labour Code 158 subsection 1 subsection 8. It speaks about the review process. You take a decision that, Luna, you are not going to follow the Constitution. And we're surprised that we have moved from 2 million rands to 15 million rands. This year, 2014, it might even be worse. DDG. It might even be worse, I can tell you. From what we are seeing, it might even be worse. I had other questions that I was going to ask one by one on the case of Baraking. On the case, Mr. Rajas, is that you, the Human Resource Committee Chair?
HRRC Chair is Ms. Thandeka Piri.
Huh?
The HRRC Chair is Ms. Thandeka Piri.
Oh, Thandeka Piri.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mr. Mulapo, next to him is the
chairperson.
member.
That's not how we've been asking you questions you can't answer. Please, Honorable Low.
No, thanks, Chair. I want to test my thinking. The underachievement was ascribed to the approved memorandum of agreements, Chair. MOAs is issued to stakeholders not by year and June. This target was also not achieved on 2022-2023, and the same reason for non-achievement was cited. What proactive measures did the SETA put in place to ensure that all MOAs are retained by end of the year? One. Does non-achievement, okay, should I take one or should I take all of them?
Yeah, one and then.
Okay, no thanks.
Who's answering that one?
I'll take the answer, Chairperson.
Yeah.
In the next funding window or the allocations of MOAs, what we've improved on our system is the turnaround instruction that gets to the applicant. We've shortened that period to a 14-day turnaround time with a provision that the SETA will withdraw the award if those particular MOAs have not been returned. We've then further put a parameter in terms of learners being registered, taking it down from 60 business days to 30 business days on accepting the MOA. Thank you, Honourable Member.
No, thanks, Chair. I'm glad that I got this answer. You see, you've got systems in place selectively in certain aspects, and there are no systems in place that are consistent selectively in other aspects. I'm raising this not I'm raising this based on the fact that we would have told you how the law or how we would want things to happen in terms of this. Now the MOA, that's what we would have said, taking you back. With the MOA, it becomes your measuring tool. Now you know what to do. You go to the audit action plan and say, we had this issue raised by the AG. Now we have dealt with it. Now this is our reason that could have dealt with deviation. We're not going to have a problem. That's what I was saying lately in terms of how things should be dealt with. Hence, I took you back to say the first thing that you do, if you fail to master your audit action plan as per what has been advised to you, you won't be able to deal with internal controls, you won't be able to deal with structural issues or your entity issues. Now, in a nutshell, Chair, I'm no longer going to ask questions. I'm quite content. Our members from the merSETA, they are quite content. What should they do? They know the law. It's just that they are picking it up selectively, but I hope that they understand the implications and the loopholes on failure to answer and to give adequate and precise answers. It tells us that there's no leadership. The board is not taking decision accordingly. The 52 meetings was nothing else but just for them to meet and greet and not deal with nitty-gritties. Thank you, Chair.
It's 57 meetings for
Sandal supporters, 57, yeah.
Honorable Khakha.
Chair, thank you so much. I had a set of 10 questions initially that I wanted to address to merSETA and the department. I'll try to some of them are linked to some things that were raised earlier, but I'll try to shorten them if I can. Let me go first to, so the first question I was going to ask, so the head of operations is Mos Ndade. There's the head of operations, which is the COO, and then there's the Rajesh is responsible for him, and also let's respect Rajesh. We've been calling people with surnames and titles here. What is Rajesh's surname?
Chok.
Chok, Mr. Chok. So, Mr. Chok, Mr. Chok is the corporate services manager. The executive manager, corporate services. Yes, thank you so much. So I want to understand, is there an operations division within merSETA? Who's heading that up?
There is a department, operations, headed by the Chief Operations Officer.
Where is the Chief Operations Officer?
Currently acting in that position.
How long have you been acting in that
Since
position?
March this year, Honorable Member.
Since March this year?
Yes.
Okay, hold on. So, and I think that's why you were the person I enjoyed having a conversation with about the link here. The finances, we know CFO sick. So the reason why I wanted to know this is, you explained what the gap was within the years of accounting and all of those things, right? But then you explained that there was T1, T2, T3, and all of those things. In order for you to get to a point where there is 100% payment to any client, you depend on proof from that client that they have registered and the number of registrations for what outcomes. I get it. I get it.
Can I answer? So the requirement from the client is the claim. merSETA controls the registration.
Answer my question. Yes or no? My question is very simple. Before you get to 100% payment to the client, irrespective of the years, would have needed to tell you how many registrations they have made.
Yes.
So they can't submit a claim to say I'm submitting a claim nakedly without saying these are the number of registrations of students.
You are correct, Honorable Member.
Okay. DDG Mvalo, for all the years that you've been DDG for services, when merSETA would come to you to report on the deliverables, outcomes of young people that they have trained, you would always ask to say, this is the money that I've given you as the department. These are the grants that you have. What have you done with them? And they would come back to say, these are the number of students that I get. Is that what used to happen? for the record. I mean, I can see you, yes, but Chair wants the Hansard.
Thanks very much, Honorable Chairperson. Yes, that's in order, Honorable Gagau.
Thank you. So I want to understand. So during the reportings of the years, were they ever unable to give you the financial correspondence between the money that they have spent and the number of students that they have registered via their clients directly or indirectly?
No, what we'll do, perhaps maybe just to explain from our side, we have a service level agreement with all the SETAs, which is arising out of the Skills Development Act. The Director General of the department then will sign a service level agreement with the chairperson, and then we'll set targets from our side to say, we need you to train, let's say, 1,000 apprentices. We'll monitor this on a quarterly basis from our side. And what we do in the department, we distinguish the financial and non-financial. The financial ones will be reported to the CFO. Then the non-financial ones will be reported directly to the skills branch, because we want to be certain. If we set target is 1,000 apprentices, and then that must be delivered. So the SETA will be saying to us, we have met, we have delivered 1,000. So that then is to say that they should have paid, obviously, because we cannot have 1,000 apprentices and we have not paid for those 1,000 apprentices.
CFO, whenever you would go back to your books to assess, to check whether there's value for money that you've given to merSETA, what were the requirements against the registrations? Because obviously, you can't have an operations without a finance. You can't have a finance without an operations. Even though you record them differently, they must correspond. Make it make sense.
Absolutely, member. Because there's no way we can have a spending and we don't have numbers and figures as to what was being trained. So you are correct.
So what is your understanding of the challenge of merSETA as far as making what happens on the left happen on the right?
There's an absolute disjuncture, member, because absolutely it has to tie up with a figure. So if it is that they have not tied up and the left and the right doesn't balance, so either information is incorrect that they provided or untruthful, or somehow they've cooked the books, I would like to say in simple terms. Thanks, Chi.
I'm happy that you are the ones that are responding and saying this and not myself, because it's very clear to see that that is what's going on. Because your logic doesn't make sense. You can't say all along you could operationally capture what's going on in terms of registrations, but you couldn't financially capture what was going on in terms of. And so because there was an isolation, because you would drop off registrations on the left and then drop off the financials on the right, you couldn't go together and merge them to say 1 rand is for registration 2, 6 rand is for registrations 1. So again, I'm giving you an opportunity to make it an honest answer. What happened between 2021 and 2022? If the answer is there was finally somebody who woke up, smelled the coffee and came to scrutinize to see what has been wrong for all the years, say that. You can't say, however, that there's nothing wrong that has been happening all along, that the problem now is required that you now had to tell the truth. Because that's what you've been telling us the entire day, that the problem is that you needed to be more honest about what's happening on the left and on the right.
Thank you, Honourable Member. I think we have indicated that we were made aware of the disjuncture between our reporting on performance versus finance in the audit period of 2023. Before that, we were none the wiser.
Okay.
Thank you.
So, when you found out, Ntate, what's his name again? Jock. Mr. Jock, have you been holding the position you're holding now for how long have you been holding it?
I joined merSETA in July 2021.
in July 2021. You joined merSETA. Before then, you were not here.
No, I was the DDG at the Department of Transport until 2013,
Go to the mic, Mr. Jock.
and I worked in the private sector between 2013 and 2021.
Interesting. Okay. So, Chairperson Board. How long have you been the board chair?
Since April 2020.
Before, so who here has been in the institution prior to 2020, apart from the in merSETA itself? Yourself? 1, 2, 3. Okay.
Where were you before 2020, Chair?
I am a non-executive chair, so I
Answer
run.
the question. Where were you before 2020?
So I don't understand the question.
What did you
you-
do with your time before
With my
becoming the
time.
chairperson?
I serve in merSETA as a non-executive director. So I was busy on other boards and with my private business. As I continued my private business
Which
while
other boards?
being chair.
Which other boards?
Yes.
Which other boards?
I was at Services SETA until 2018. That's the most relevant to the committee. I have been at SIFA. Who else comes to mind? Land Bank.
Okay, it's okay. Honorable
Thank you, Chairperson. So, the 3 gentlemen who had been in the institution for a very long time would be able to know. So that's excellent. Then CEO, then there's no reason for you to not have an answer for anything at all, because you have institutional memory. And that's why you understand when I said to you, you know what I want, you just don't want to give it to me. CEO, there were the people who were responsible for the not balancing on the left and on the right. How many of them have you gotten rid of? Has the institution gotten rid of?
Nobody at the moment.
Why haven't you gotten rid of anybody?
Unfortunately, we have concluded this audit very, very late, as you would have gathered. So we have
Chair,
not yet
Please,
considered.
Chair. CEO, are you saying, Horo, you only started investigating these people now with this audit? All along, nobody knew who's responsible for anything.
No, that's not the answer.
What are you saying?
I'm saying, based on this audit outcome, of which I am the CEO from March this year, and the time that the audit was concluded, I have not considered an action because of the time that the audit was concluded.
And for all the years of auditing and all the financial years, there was no investigation internally that found anybody guilty of anything.
Not to my recollection, I would be untruthful if I were to.
DDG Mval, when you've been here for years, been here. So when you get reports from merSETA, I think you know more than us sitting on this side of the table what is going on in there. What have you done to try to fix the mess as far as holding people to account?
Well, as I said earlier on, we receive reports on a quarterly basis in all the SETAs. And we set targets with all of them. What we do from our side, the team will do its own validation. That is now the DG team. To test as to whether the information which has been brought to our attention as a result of the service level agreement, and obviously we'll be doing a sampling of that work. Well, there are instances whereby all information we're getting from SETAs will say we disagree, we turn this one back. But we do have our own validation processes. That is in terms of our APP now in that instance.
Did you ever write to merSETA to request, or did you ever from the department, was there ever a launch of an investigation?
Not really.
So, Chair, DDG Mvalu must also be held responsible for negligence. In the same spirit that the board has been negligent, DDG Mvalu, the minister, the department, everybody must be held responsible for negligence. Because when you have quarterly reports coming to you and those reports show you that there's a problem, because I don't think you only found out when the AG started requesting information the way they're requesting it that there's a problem here. It would be disingenuous to say that. You would have known. And so the question is, but why didn't you do anything about it? Again, the same question I asked to the chair. Either you didn't know how to do it, you didn't know how to launch soft intimidation or soft operation siyasebenza, or uyonqena DDG. Which one is it?
Well, Honorable, the way we work as the department, we are not doing audits to the entities. We have a service level agreement with entities. So if we are saying we have set in our APP a target of 190,000 workplace-based learning opportunities, the expectation or obligation, shall I say, in terms of the service level agreement is to get those numbers. If the SETA gives me to say we have achieved, let's say, 10,000, then we take that. Mind you, this information that has been audited by the AG as well. Because we get the information is audited, and then the AG would have identified something which would have invalidated that 10,000. So it's information that has been audited. So we cannot run a second audit once the AG has done the audit.
Yeah, Mape, CEO, Honorable Khachau asked you a question about consequence management, and your answer was you have not considered. I want to hear, you have not considered any consequence management for this audit. Was that the answer you gave?
Yes, that's correct. And it's due to when the audit was concluded.
When was the audit concluded?
22nd, 23rd October.
Yeah, today is the 4th of December. It's more than a month. You accepted, you submitted to the department. The ministers tabled in Parliament, and that's why we're here. You know, it's strange because on fruitless and wasteful expenditure, you have about 47 million rands. On money lost, this financial year, and on irregular, you have on new contract 943 million rands. And there's no consideration of consequence management. At least if we would have said on issues of consequence management, Honorable, we have referred matters to the relevant, that HRRC, instead of changing wrong decisions, they should be doing this, making sure, or whoever is responsible, that we are able to hold whoever did this. In fact, there are many things here, Honorable Khachau, that the AG picked up. I mean, some of their problems is that a person who has no authority to approve a project would approve projects. In fact, let me read it for you. I don't like AG, Marikimang, acting CEO, when you put that face, it's like I'm lying.
No, Chair, it's when I look at my laptop.
No. You know, I'll get it now, yeah. But we have problems where people would not have the authority to approve some things. They would approve. I'll get it for now. Maybe if you ask that question, Honorable Khachau, I'll get this one and I'll read it for you.
Thank you, Chairperson. So the CEO couldn't, in all honesty, say that he has considered to launch investigations and all of that, because that's the easiest response to give, because it's only been a month and a few weeks since the conclusion of the audit report for you to even think about doing it. The real question is, since you've become CEO, a CEO that has been in the institution in multiple roles, how do you not know that there is anything wrong within the institution unless you are complicit in the wrongdoing, or unless you genuinely have no interest in fixing what's wrong within the institution? But that's not a question I'm asking you, it's just something I'm putting up in the air. I want to move, Chair, to say when the AGSA says there's a weakness in the management of projects, what does the AG mean, in your understanding?
Honorable Member, it means there are weaknesses in how we manage the MOAs that we allocate to stakeholders.
What does that mean? What are the weaknesses in how you, what does that mean?
It would mean the intention of those MOAs or projects is not ultimately achieved as intended.
Speak directly.
So I would have awarded you an MOA for 10 learners, and poor project management might not result in those achievements of the 10 learners getting to successful completing the project.
How many of those tenders fall under what you just said?
I don't have the figure at hand, Honorable Member.
Can we get in writing, Chairperson? And can I request the AG to also separately submit to us that your recollection of the tenders that have an MOO problem, who they were allocated to, and what the financials they were of and what they sought to achieve, so that we can get to where I want to go with this?
Yeah, let me help you first on
Okay.
this information.
Sure.
But I think the CEO, you see, CEO, you have a number of contracts, irregular expenditure. Some of them are from the previous financial year, the 22-23, 196 million. Payment made outside the approved contract period, that contract of Metrofile. You have not, you are telling to me there's no consequence management. 1. 2, 17 million. Payment made outside of the approved contract period, ADT. 3, PBSA. Contract exceeded the approved contract value. By how much? 78 million. Net Logic, payment exceeded the approved contract value. How much? 378 million. So you are saying to Honorable Khachau, you have not done consequence management. Actually, you can give us that face all along, all day long. We are giving you facts. I told you, I'm a child of a teacher. I have, you know the surprise face. It's not going to give us problems here. Yeah? Cryon SA, Chairperson of Council, payments made outside the approved contract period. How much? 1.6 billion. So we're not talking, the total here is almost 3 billion of these things. And then there's no consequence management. You are not telling us, okay, people are at this level of consequence management. We are just being told, no, we have not considered. you're considering illegal things that is going to cost the entity. You know, I think maybe members, we must, maybe Honorable Mokgakga, I'll give you one last question. I don't think we're going to get anywhere. We still have to probe NSFAS. So maybe let's take a decision that these people are not going to assist us. Even when you are asking a simple question about the grant regulations of MOAs, you know, which were approved incorrectly. COO, yeah, it's you signing here, but the AG found that these approved delegations, you had approved them incorrectly. They were approved by the COO instead of the CEO. And I'm listening to you answering, and I'm just keeping quiet. You know, you are not even seeing anything wrong with that. The AG found that this one, the MOA, the delegation, they approved incorrectly by the COO instead. It's there on your annual report. It's there on your annual report. And, you know, Honorable Nguban, let's just take, no, we're taking last questions. We'll come back. Okay,
Yeah.
Honorable Nguban, let's give the lady first. She's going to complain, you know. It's 16 days of activism.
Okay,
So let's
I'll
give
come.
Honorable Khakha.
Honorable Chair, did you just refer to me as the lady?
Honorable lady,
Chair, you're out of order.
I apologize.
So, you said that we don't have time. I mean, I do have a lot of questions, but there's a question that is still lagging behind. It's been 2 hours since we've been in conversation with these people, getting nothing at all. But I saw that at least the CEO had a laptop at some point. So surely you can now officially answer to me and tell me the internal auditors. What are their names? When did they work, for which period, and how much did you pay them? Let's start with the first one. The first internal auditor.
Thank you. I have just confirmed with the CFO, the internal auditor, Shumba.
CFO Wagula.
I had no choice, Chair.
How did you respond? Wait, hold on, Chair.
She responded
Okay, no,
on
but I
WhatsApp.
also checked with supply chain. Sorry,
On a
Chair.
point of order, Chairperson.
No, she got better. She responded on
Oh,
WhatsApp.
wait, no. You're not kids.
Yeah.
I may be the Latlamiki in this room, but I'm not a kid. You can't have a CFO that is incapacitated, that is sick, who can't come and respond here. Suddenly, that same CFO has information. No. How? Do you see what's... So I want to register here, Chairperson. I'm laughing because I'm defeated.
No, she got better.
It
Let's
simply
get the
cannot
answer.
be.
Now let's get the answer. Yes,
Okay, you got
TCO.
confirmation from... Yeah, number one.
Okay, Shumba.
Shumba.
Yes, Shumba
S?
Incorporated.
Shumba Incorporated.
SHUMBA. Their contract came to an end in August.
How long had they had the contract?
For 3 years cycle, and then they were given an extension for another up to 30 June 2024.
Their contract ended in August. It was a 3-year, and then they were given an extension until 30 June 2024. Which August?
August
20
of 2023,
Yeah,
they
okay.
were on a 3-year cycle
Okay.
of audit.
Okay, and then they were extended until June 2024.
Yes.
Okay. And they had been on 3 years, so meaning they had been doing your book since 2020.
Roundabout, yes.
Okay. How much was the value of the audit? How much for the 3 years plus the extension did you pay them?
I don't have the value
Ah,
yet.
gag.
No, I only
It's
asked the
not funny.
period. I'm sorry, honorable
This
member.
is the there were 2 hours. I asked you once. You said you didn't naga me. The second time you said you'll get that information. When I know the ghost CFO who's sick but can respond gave you information that is half baked.
I asked specifically for the time period.
You
because
shouldn't
I
have
was-
asked for anything other than what I asked you for.
I may have missed the
There's no
payment.
way. You didn't want to give me those figures.
No, I
Chair, can I
apologize.
respond?
We will get the figures, Chair. I must just get it from...
CFO
somewhere
is
else,
still
yeah.
alive and can respond. She must respond before the end of this meeting with the response. We want that response, Chair. They're not going to leave without that answer. The second people, the second one from June until now, who are they?
We appointed, it's not necessarily from June, we appointed
is it from?
Masehari.
Masekhare.
Masehari.
M-A-S-E.
Gare.
Yeah? M-A-S-E-G-A-R-E. Masekhare.
Yes,
Inc.
yes. I must just be specific. Sorry, Chair. Yes.
Masekhare
And-
Inc.
Yeah.
From?
I must get the exact date. Sorry, I will have to. I'm sorry, Chair. I need to. Yes. Okay. My colleague says 1st of July, 2024. Yeah. Switch on the mic, please.
Contract value,
Mr. Jock, do you have the information that the CEO doesn't have? In all honesty.
No, Chair, I don't have it on hand. I will also have to look it up.
So, Masekhare, their contract, how long is it? Is it also for 3 years?
It is for 3 years. However, due to poor performance, we had to terminate it
Okay.
in this financial
What
year.
is their poor performance?
There were issues and shortcomings in the audit plan.
What does that mean?
Sure. Are you able to help? There were specific deficiencies with the
Yes,
audit
what are
plan.
the specifics? What are the deficiencies? You can't say I was sick or king. I was not well.
no, the ACT chair must assist.
Yeah.
There were 2 areas of concern. When they first met with us in August, they presented their 3-year rolling plan. We couldn't accept it because the budget and what was planned for was deficient, and our areas, our high-risk areas, were not in their plan. That's the first area. So we took them back to say, go and correct, bring it back to us. We will approve it via round robin. That did not happen. They didn't bring it back to us via round robin. When we met in October, our last meeting was the 4th of November. When we met with them, they presented the corrected 3-year rolling plan. That too had deficiencies. The first issues that we had raised were not corrected. So we couldn't still approve that 3-year rolling plan. The second issue that they had to do, they audited performance information. We know for a fact that performance information is our weak point. When they reported to us, they had no findings in performance information. We had great concerns with that. Secondly, they audited IT systems. There too, the report came clean. No findings, not even housekeeping matters. And we thought, we have a problem here. And so the process of disengaging them started.
Yeah, maybe before. What was the SCM process to appoint these people?
It was the normal request for quotations and then submissions, evaluation through the BEC and until the approval.
So what did you evaluate there?
Based on
when you are saying their plan, what do you call it?
So, Chair, we are not involved in the SCM process.
No
right?
problem. I'm asking.
Yeah, let me. I just
No,
need
when
to
you advertise. No.
Okay, when
wait,
they
wait. You see, I told you we're very technical. We understand these things. When you even when you ask for an RQF, there's technical specifications that you put there. So please don't patronize us. So if you are not involved in the technical specifications, what are you doing? Who then decides? That's why you are even appointing wrong people. Because the attitude of your answers is also not right. It's not right. You can't, a normal SCM process will have my department, because it's me who need the system, my department contributing to the technical specifications. And I'll say, I want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And when I'm doing evaluations, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 must be evaluated. So on this thing, what did you evaluate? On this audit thing, who put together the technical specifications? What did you evaluate? Because you then appointed somebody who, the first meeting, few days after being appointed, the risk committee, audit and risk committee says, we don't agree with the plan that you are bringing. So what is it that they tendered for? So no, you are just playing with us. You think we've got time. We still have to interrogate NSFAS. Lona, you think we're joking. Can you please take us serious? How did we appoint these people? And if we have lost money on this thing, because clearly Lona, when somebody signs a contract to pay them, how much did we lose on this thing? A CEO. Okay. And what was the consequence management of whoever would have cost us money more?
Okay, thank you, Chair. We went out in the market with the terms of reference which had specifications for the bidders to meet.
Put by who put those specifications?
It's done by the CFO, Finance.
Okay.
Yeah. Then
on his own, not with the audit and risk committee.
No.
Where, yeah, okay, continue.
Yeah. Then the advert goes out, then the bidders bid, and then it gets evaluated against the functionalities. And in this case, merSETA did meet all those specifications, which usually does not come with a rollout plan, but necessarily the project implementation plan of the whole. Then the first thing, once they are onboarded, is to do a rollout plan that has to be approved.
That is in line with the terms of reference.
But more detailed than just the specifications.
Yeah, but it's in line with.
Yes, that is correct, yes. And we then went into that process, and I think in, reading some of I will get to the amount that we've paid to date. Now, I think we also picked up the following issues which were brought to their attention. One was they come into meetings with a CFO unprepared. And then secondly, failure to meet deadlines in terms of pre-agreed upon requirements. And the submission of work that was of poor quality because it will go up and down to a point where it did not meet our standards.
How much?
Subsequently, they were then terminated. I will just want to check on the amount that we've paid to date.
Have we used any of the, whilst we're looking at the amount, have we used any of the work that they've produced?
Yes.
To do what?
There are specific outcomes that they would have met. I think the biggest one was the action rollout plan, which was problematic in terms of the approval by the Audit and Risk Committee. But there is some work that they've carried out that we've paid for because it did meet criteria for payment.
How much have we paid these people?
I'm going to get to it now.
Honorable Ngubane, next question.
I think he's gonna. He's gonna. He's still checking what is here. Chair, my two main questions, Chair, I wanted to get an answer on the late or non-payment of a service provider because of the lack internal of a certain signature. If we can get an answer on that, service providers are not paid or they are paid late because of a lack of a certain signature internally. And this request on Treasury to roll over the 500 million rand, what's that? How far it is, or would that amount that must roll over? To me, it sounds like it's a budget of around about 3 sitters combined, CAT sitter and other sitters. That's just 500 million. It's a revenue of about 3 or sitters, but they're requesting it a rollover from Treasury. If we can get an answer on those two things.
Yeah, the invoices that we've paid after 30 days, they amounted to about 11.5 million rands. What was the problem as far as that is concerned?
Sorry, Chair, I have to refer before I answer the question.
Okay, the second one. The money that we are requesting Treasury to roll over.
In our application for the surplus, we have highlighted the strategic projects that we want to implement to ensure that we improve the performance of a SETA, as it is known that our performance is not at 100% at the moment.
Honorable Low, our Rafael, let's go. Let's go. Honorable Low.
Well, thank you very much, Chair. I have a question there on the TVET colleges. It is required that TVET colleges are required to place lectures in the industry workplace for exposure. It is concerning that merSETA did not attain the target of 60 lectures exposed to the sector through skills programs. Could it be that low number of applications from TVET colleges was due to lack of information on the available opportunities? If not, how did the SETA advertise and market their interventions to the TVET colleges? I'm asking this, Chair, because you ask about the scope in the advertisement, and there are also key deliverables in the failure if you are not delivering as a bidder. So I want to know how they dealt with this one. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Chair. Back to the monies paid to Masihari and Associate, it is 351,000 rands to date. The TVET colleges, we have observed that because Shumba will come back to it, sorry, Chair. The TVET colleges, because they are more aligned to ETDP SETA, every time when we advertise our funding windows for initiatives to support TVET lecturers, we find a very low participation in that regard. And what we've done with the 4 IR centers that we've established at TVET colleges, it includes the TVET lecturer development, which is yet to happen in terms of the 4 IR technologies at those specific TVET colleges. So what we do if we don't get the solicited applications against criteria is to, in line with our grants policy, to really go after them and, initiate a project that will help with the TVET lecturers. And at the moment, the project that's running is with the we call it TVET 4.0 project to train the TVET lecturers in solar photovoltaic qualification. And obviously, because of the length of the duration or the length of the program, we would only report them once they are registered, and which may fall either within or out of the current financial year, and then we'll also report them on completion of a program. But we are having a challenge with the voluntary participation of TVET colleges on this item.
No, thank you very much. Colleagues, we are going to end here for now with merSETA. We are going to take 5-minute body break, and then we are going to have questions to NSFAS. We will not be done. We are not done with merSETA. You know, merSETA, your core business is Program 3. And in Program 3, you've achieved 48%. And the main program, what you exist for, you've achieved less than 50%. And I hope, well, I don't know whether I should hope or, because, you know, I was going to say I hope the AA will not have given these people at this SETA an idea that they'll get, what do you call this thing, bonuses for getting less than 50% of the core business of what you work for. But I know, after speaking to you, I no longer hope. I'm scared that you might have done it already. You might have promised those workers for receiving less than 50% of the core business, of the targets that you have on core business. I'm sure, you know, but this I'm sure it's this one of, you know, in the township. There's a different meaning from an English one. So I hope, honestly speaking, that there's no such, because that will be rewarding mediocrity. We've received less than half of our targets in the core business. Our core business as teachers, as a child of a teacher, as a teacher, is to produce passes. So in my matric, I get 48%. And I go to the minister and say, I need a raise. I've done so well. In fact, even my teacher assistants and all of them must get a bonus. It doesn't make sense. So I hope, colleagues, even yourselves, you have not misused again public funds by giving workers, especially in this Program 3, bonuses that honestly they don't deserve. They've received less than 50% of their targets. If you have done so, board members, how are going to have a problem, Shane? We are going to have a serious problem. And if you have done so, and the minister announces an announcement for the 2025-2030 boards, and you guys they were going to have a problem with her, honestly speaking, because these are public funds we're talking about. We're not joking. I'm sure some of you think we're joking. These are public funds. And we are going to account to the public that this X, Y, and Z members who would have done X, Y, and Z things. I can tell you now, you have taken an illegal decision to review a decision of, you know, that is required to be reviewed differently. You have institutionalized it. You have made it. You said, you know, one of these things of factions, DDG, they are going to destroy us, because we enter into a board, and because we are many there, we are 10, the others are 5. We just decide to we vote on everything, even on wrong things. Then we end up having what you call HRRC, and then we give it these powers that are illegal. This one I can tell you, it's an illegal thing. I'm not a lawyer. Honorable Ngubane, I do have a few distinctions in some of those law things, but I'm not a lawyer. But I can tell you this one. LRA is very clear there on how to even think about setting something aside. I can tell you on this one, that is why I was asking if colleagues are willing to put their heads on the block and decides to pay. So it's 5 to 6. Let's reconvene at 6. merSETA, we're not done. We will make concluding remarks later on that will affect yourselves. So at 6 o'clock, we are starting with NSFAS.
Chair they said they would give us the figure of Shumba before they leave. They must still give us the Shumba.
They are not leaving. Yeah. Do you have Mr. LJT for you? No. Okay. Let's start. Chairperson, we want to start now. Let's settle down. Yeah, we will. Now we are going to release you officially. Let's. Yeah, where's your CEO? Yeah, let's start. Please close there. Oh. Maraba kwale monyako. Colleagues, merSETA has requested that we release them because they had booked flights. Next time merSETA, we always say, colleagues, board secretary, we're in a meeting. Let's not talk when we enter here. Did you send the things that we said you must send to Anna? Yeah, you see, but when you enter a meeting, you're making noise. Let's not do that. Let's do what we must do. Please. Colleagues, merSETA have requested that they are asking to leave. And we always tell entities that when you come, colleagues, let's not book flights because, you know, it creates, especially when we have said till late, a situation where, I mean, imagine if we had started with NSFAS. It would have been a challenge now because it would be wanting to leave. Having said that, because of irregular expenditure things and that already merSETA is struggling with. So let's not add by refusing them to leave so that they do catch their flights. Clearly our discussions with merSETA will not end here, colleagues. But we must say, Chairperson, we are very disappointed at how we are interpreting legal documents in that institution. It leaves a lot to be desired. I can tell you for free now that that CCMA case that you have, at least on this one, and not, I don't know how many others you have. I don't know how you are planning on winning them, but I don't see the entity winning there here because you know, the Constitution supersedes all other constitutions of organizations, NGOs, and all of that underneath that country's constitution. So when you put rules, regulations, or constitution of your entity, they must not be in contravention with the country's constitution. So the Labor Relations Act on setting aside or appealing decisions of such nature are regulated. The labor law, you know, covers this part. So we're going to have a problem there. We're clearly going to lose a lot of money from yourself, CEO. Now that we are back, there is a question about your Shumba, the other one, the fees on the other one. Please help us so that we're able to release you and well, we can go to NSO. You have not asked the CFO? No, go to the mic. You have asked who?
Finance manager. I've asked the finance manager to give me the information. And
Who's the
also
finance manager?
Mr. Andrew Fenter.
Oh, he's not here.
No, unfortunately.
Oh, so what is the figure? So the CFO is no longer
4 million rands was paid to Shumba.
okay.
So there's a reason why I said Harabana. The CFO just went and confirmed to Jock right now. They just had a conversation about it right now,
something. No, maybe it was about something. No, it's okay. It's okay. So, yeah, switch off your mic, acting CEO. So we're going to release you, but I want you when you leave, colleagues, to know, board members, where I am, I'm really not happy with what we should have been doing there. I'm really, disappointed that the board would have went and given such illegal instructions to a subcommittee of the board to exercise so much power on behalf of the board, the power that is also against the Labor Relations Act, 158(1)H. It's a serious concern. And when I even ask you, colleagues, you don't seem to have an appreciation that these are public funds. You don't seem to care whether we lose cases or not, and we're unable to put your faces or your heads on the block. Members, this is one of the reasons why in the turn of the year we must look into changing certain legislation, including the Skills Development Act, on the appointed members of council. They must take, there must come a point where when as a board you have used certain monies irregularly or wasteful expenditure, or as management, we must be able to go and take you to court, declare you an insolvent, board director or something, because we can't have this kind of attitude. We are going to again write to the department officially about our observations on the ministry, that we're not happy with what is happening there. We don't, these colleagues, they don't see the need to even change the attitude on how they want to, help. I mean, this is an important seat of manufacturing, engineering, and related. It's a very serious seat. And in the whole year, they've achieved less than half of their own targets that they would have set themselves.